All right, let me start over with a fresh perspective. Picture this: a group of fierce, ambitious women coming together to form a community unlike any other. These women are from the Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, and they are united by a shared passion for entrepreneurship and innovation. They are Baltic Boss Babes. Now, you may be wondering, what is Baltic Boss Babes exactly? It's a movement that aims to empower and elevate female entrepreneurs in the Baltic region. We believe that by creating a space for women to connect, learn, and support each other, we can drive real change and inspire the next generation of female leaders.
But then we can start immediately. Christos is out of the house. We have a saying in Estonia that when cat is out of the house, then mice have party. So party! I can drink wine finally on my holiday. It's been actually 3 months since I last had any alcohol. Except for I have had kefir. Kefir has some alcohol in it as well.
Baltic Boss Babes podcast, the unfiltered edition, episode 1, Unzipped, supported by Workland co-working space and offices across the Baltics.
Hello. This is Baltic Boss Babes and Kadi and Aija here.
Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to welcome you at this wonderful show with my amazing co-host Kadi. And we're happy to welcome you at the first edition of Baltic Boss Babes.
Yay! Party! No, but today is actually like introductory episode where we are kind of opening our series of episodes with some very inspirational female founders and entrepreneurs here in the Baltics. And we would just like to kind of give you an introduction to what we are aiming to become with Baltic Boss Babes, or why we want to, kind of host or start this
basically
podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Just to let you know how we came up with this idea, and about a year ago, actually already, and we're soon we'll be able to celebrate a little anniversary.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, it was exactly. I mean, when was Texture last year? It was at the end of April as well. Yeah. So me and I are actually both startup founders. So I am the CEO. My name is Kadi. I am the CEO and co-founder of a company called Hotel Buddy, and we provide technology to the hotels. And Aija, you are the CEO and co-founder of TerraWaste.
TerraWaste, yes. And TerraWaste is a next generation advanced materials company that is turning plastics back into crude oil and basically closing the plastic production loop. So we are one step away from changing the plastics industry all over the world, hopefully.
Yeah, this is like really, really cool story actually with Aija, and also we will be sharing our stories in some later episodes. But yeah, like me and Aija, we met on TechChill 2022, that was on the 50 Founders Battle. So both of us were competing to get the prize. What was the prize anyway last year?
10,000 euros
cash.
Yeah.
But there wasn't any like syndicate or anything like that?
From Karma Ventures.
Oh, okay.
I think.
You think you were in the finals?
We were competing for recognition and investment round at that time. Yeah. So, we met at TechChill and spent 2 very good days prepping for the competition together with Kadi. And during the conference, we became friends basically. So, and a couple of weeks after that, during a wine evening, both of us just started talking about our journeys and how we actually came to be entrepreneurs, and what are the struggles that we're facing right now. And actually, we found out that there's a lot of things in common for any female entrepreneur, irrelevant of the industry, no matter the industry that we are in, right? So if Zero Waste is strictly hardware focused, then Hotel Buddy is software plus hardware, and completely different industry. But we are both CEOs, both female founders, and we both are the same way struggling with different aspects of entrepreneurial journey. So it was very interesting to learn that from Kadi, and most likely that it was interesting to learn, from the different steps and adventures that we have experienced in 2.5 years of Zero Waste also for you.
No, I mean, for me, it was really kind of a big kind of understanding. Like, I remember listening to you and sharing my own story, and back then we were fundraising the first time with Hotel Buddy, and it was like really, really challenging. And actually learning that, okay, other founders also are facing similar struggles. So, like, oftentimes when you're listening to similar podcasts or shows, and like, I think we are often just talking about the glossy side of things. Like, oh yeah, we fundraised, and you're only like hearing about the success stories of startups and the founders. And being a founder yourself, I mean, it's not just about, of course it is about success and those happy moments, but you also have some periods of time where it is not so easy and life is a struggle, and you have to get through these kind of times as well. And sharing my own kind of fears and experiences and learning, from you and your experiences, for me it was so nice. And actually then we thought, like, why isn't there a podcast, something like this, that you can maybe listen during your walks, or while having a glass of wine, and this is just kind of your friends in the startup world talking about their journeys, and like sharing their experience, like unfiltered experience, as you would to a friend, not as you would on investing or like in front of like hundreds of people listening to you, as we are doing and going to do now. So and this is the aim of Baltic Boss Babes. So in this episode it's gonna be just us two for the introductory one, but later on we will bringing on different founders. But luckily in Baltics there's so many like ladies who are really, really kicking ass, and exactly. So we have heaps of people listed we are planning to invite. And actually, when you are listening to this, either if you are a female founder yourself or would like to be, or know someone that you think that could be a great fit to our show, then please let us know about that. And also, please follow us on social media. So we are on LinkedIn and Instagram. So you just find Baltic Boss Babes there, and then you can get notified whenever our new episode is up.
Or any new guest that we are going to have. Definitely, we have a list of really, really remarkable women and entrepreneurs that we are thrilled and excited.
Yeah, because we can like give you 100% guarantee that behind every success there has been big struggle.
Yes, tears and despair, stress and sleepless nights. So we have all gone through that, and waves of depression and anxiety. So definitely, if you are listening to this and thinking, that's something that I'm going through, please reach out to us as well. We are happy to chat with you, even outside of the podcast, just for inspirational, or if you feel like sharing your story with the rest of the listeners and to us as well. We will be happy to invite you to the show and hear your story.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it is the other people whose stories that you can often kind of listen and then relate to, and then understand, okay, this is something that I maybe need to change or implement in my life. So, and if you have some ideas about the topics that are most interesting for you as a female founder, then also let us know. We have been thinking that some of the episodes will be kind of generic. So we talk about topics such as fundraising, for example, or pitching, towards to VCs. We will be inviting some VCs here and asking for their advice. And we will be asking some quite direct questions as well. But yeah, so basically, oh yeah, maybe you can also just quickly tell your story. How did you end up in the startup scene in the first place?
Yeah, so my journey has been rather bumpy, and since it was COVID time when Tether Waste came to be, so I was one of the people that was working quite far away from the industry that I'm in right now, and I was the one who was laid off because of COVID, and yeah, it was midsummer, and I had more or less absolutely nothing to do, and just scrolling through Facebook one day, I found this ad ad for master classes, roadmap to your smart business, and I was just curious since I have always wanted my own business. I just was one of those people who lacked the idea, and I said, why not try this out? Since I have free time to spare, and yeah, so I joined the master class. I finally finished it with a certificate. And yeah, in the end, that led me to joining Commercialization Reactor and starting Tetherways. So even though the road was a bumpy one, I would say definitely that it had to do something with a little bit of luck and curiosity to find out more and learn new things. So yeah, I need.
But I mean, you didn't just like watch a masterclass and then start Terrorist. Some things needed to come together, kind of. I mean, who had the first idea of Terrorist, or how did you meet the rest of the co-founders?
Yeah, so it was because of Commercialization Reactor. So they're an organization in Latvia that is organizing an event called the Ignition event, where they are inviting scientists to present their discoveries on one hand, and on the other hand, they are inviting entrepreneurs such as myself to join scientists and form teams, and therefore after that form deep tech startups. And this is how I came to meet my other three co-founders. So we are a team of 4 right now. And yeah, so the scientists of Terrorways, they were presenting this amazing technology that can turn plastics into crude oil and basically do that in a pollution-free way. And I was very excited by the idea per se that, we are going to clean up the mess that, a generation of plastic users have created by now. And yeah, I just fell in love with the idea, and I said I want to be part of this. And luckily enough, 2 other fantastic co-founders joined our team. And yeah, now it's 2.5 years later, and Tetherways is still going strong and hoping to grow into a global business that is going to clean up the mess, not only created in Europe, but all over the planet. So yeah.
And right now you're actually fundraising to open your first kind of plants?
Yes,
Is that correctly?
Yeah, the plant is going to be located in Austria, and we're going to start our recycling journey from there, and later on expand into Europe and even east of the globe as well. So yeah.
That is super cool.
Yeah. So how about you? What is your story? How did you become a founder?
Yeah, so basically, most of my life or adult life, I have been working for in the hospitality sector as a hotelier. So I started my way from like during my studies, I was working in the reception, in the hotel reception, and somehow, although I was studying something completely different, I kind of felt really good in the hotels and then working with the people and actually servicing people. I think I'm a people's pleaser in a way. So the role really suited me, and actually soon enough I kind of made a career for myself in the hotel. So actually I got my first like managerial role when I was 22. I was the front office manager and leading a team of 10 people. And from there on, I was sitting on kind of different chairs. I was the operations manager, a spa manager, front office manager, and then at the end, the hotel manager. And I was managing simultaneously 2 hotels in the Tallinn city center. And came across with a problem. So in our hotels, it oftentimes happened that all the customers were kind of arriving at the same time. So we had those peak hours when the lobby was full of customers, and they were just standing there because they needed to get a key to get into the room. But in order to get a key, we needed to have them fill like piles of paper and take the payment and so on. And all of that took such a long time. So I remember like I could never leave work on time. Like, my office hours were from 9 to 5, but at 5 o'clock, people actually just started to come in one of our business hotels. And between 5 and 7, it was just the lobby was full of people. And these were like, businessmen and lawyers in their fancy suits and just standing there in line for maybe 15, 20 minutes, wasting their valuable time. And, from the other side of the reception desk, it wasn't a nice experience as well, because the employees, they were kind of sweating, doing their best to kind of serve everyone as fast as they could. But at the same time, you cannot really give any kind of personalized service that the most of the good hotels at least are aiming for. And then I started to look for kind of solutions to digitalize the guest journey, to have implement online check-in and mobile key access in our hotels. And I did like a really thorough research of different solutions on the market, and basically came back with empty hands. So there were solutions, but either we couldn't choose any of them because either they were expensive, they didn't have required integrations, or they were lacking functionality. And actually, to Hotel Buddy, I got involved with a project. So it was like the spring 2020, COVID had just hit. The hotels were empty. And actually, one of my kind of business partners, or so his name's Hannes, he's the founder of Hotel Buddy. He came to me and pitched the idea of Hotel Buddy, and said that, I have been thinking, how to put those kind of parts together and to actually digitalize the guest journey, so the hotel doesn't really need to change their existing door locks, because this was the biggest, the worst for the software companies, how to get through an offline door. You need some part of hardware for that. And he had it figured it out. He pitched it to me. I said, perfect. You should do it, because this is something that the hotels are really needs, and we could be your first customers and so on. And then time went by, and I was also giving him some ideas and basically insights how to build this product. And until late 2020. I decided for many personal reasons to switch the country where I live in. So I moved from Estonia to Latvia. And of course, I couldn't continue my previous role at the hotel. And with all that free time in my hands, Hannes came back to me and asked, why don't you, join the company as a co-founder? We would really need a person like you. And I didn't hesitate. I said yes, and since then it was in the beginning of 2021, and so it's already been more than 2 years in this company, and it's been really it's actually has been such an amazing journey. I mean, it has been incredibly challenging, and maybe in some later episodes I will also share kind of the true story how it has been, but. At the same time, I would never want to go back and change something, because this is so important. Also, every mistake you make, it is it is part of the journey of you getting a better, founder, better person, and so on. And I remember when we started out, and Hannes also said, I cannot promise you anything, but I can guarantee it's gonna be a fun ride. And he was right, and he still is. Every day is bringing another challenge. You solve one problem, 2 new problems arise. But at the same time, it is so fun, and it is so rewarding to be in this kind of, community. And it's not I would be wishing to go back to work in a hotel again. I mean, that was a lot of fun as well, but this is so much more fun. And I feel that every day I am out of my comfort zone. Even by doing this podcast here, this is something completely different, but I do think that this is necessary, and I hope that we can give some value to the listeners and to the ecosystem.
I surely hope so. I mean, I couldn't agree more about the fun ride of the startup founder and entrepreneurial journey. I mean, I hope that from the bottom of my heart, I really hope that we will be able to inspire you, dear listeners, to try it out. As many founders before us and many after us definitely are going to say the same thing. It is definitely an experience that you have to go through at least once in your life. I mean, that is life changing, and not only for the fact that you have created a company, or even if it goes bankrupt after 2 or 3 years, but the fact that you are going to meet so many different peoples, you're going to see the newest in technology and newest in science all over the world. Like, there are people coming up with such crazy and fun ideas every day, and we, being a startup founders, are people who see it firsthand at pitch competitions. Usually I found myself thinking like, that is such a cool idea. I mean, I can't imagine that how they came up with it. And and then there are people coming up to me and saying the same thing, and then this is the passion that we share for everything new that happens. So
Yeah, that's correct. You can be like connected with all those amazing people and the ecosystem, and who are behind all these innovative ideas, and kind of be part of the change what's happening in the world.
yeah, exactly. And every startup founder is believing that his or her company is going to be the next Microsoft, next Twitter, Facebook, and whatnot, other success story, right? So, and this excitement doesn't decrease startup after startup. I would say that it only increases even.
And actually, even if you fail like one or two startups, it actually it's kind of like increasing your credit score when it comes to the investors and VCs. Like, I often get asked, or like when you have to fill in yet another application, okay, do you have founders with experience of exits, for example, or have you been a startup founder before? And this is like considered as a pro or like a plus, that if you have that previous experience. And surely I can really confirm that, these like 2 years, I mean, in startup years, these are like, it's much longer time.
Lifetimes, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Because, yeah, exactly, the lifetime of a startup company, you can easily scale, from year 1 to maybe year 6, 7, and you're gonna be like, unicorn status, or like at least exiting at a really high value.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of the statistics and all of the fun facts that we have prepared for you today, why we are doing this podcast is that we want to inspire more and more women to join the startup and entrepreneurial ecosystem, as there are only 80% of all of the startups founded are founded by women, or even have women in them. So I would say that this is
80.
18.
18. Okay, I have 18.
No, 18%. So, dear women, we kindly invite you to join the journey.
Encourage.
Yeah,
But why do you think it is so that there's only 18% of the companies with female founders on board?
I mean, this statistics is for Europe, and I think in Europe it hasn't become a trend yet. I mean, the statistics is getting better.
I mean, US, the numbers are better, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's growing for sure, but we would definitely be happy to see a lot more energetic and wonderful women out there to actually take up the courage and found their own startups. So yeah, we don't really have the startup culture here in Europe developed yet. I think that might be one of the reasons. Like, if we are looking at the same statistics for the US, it looks a little bit better. I won't be able to name the number now, but it's definitely higher than the one in Europe right now. So I mean, since US is more capitalistic, I would say, country, right? So founding a business is something that they take pride in. And I would say that we still need to grow into these shoes to be able to, pat yourself on the shoulder and say, I'm a business founder, and be proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that still has to be cultivated. So hopefully with these episodes, we also are going to cultivate, at least put some effort into cultivating this culture here in Eastern Europe first, and then the rest of the Europe as well.
I think it's also partially, or at least why we don't see so many women in this kind of like startup and technology industries, that like historically women and men have been kind of divided into different like industries. I mean, like this kind of technology field is, I think, considered more like you know, manly kind of industry, whereas, for example, like in the beauty industries, it is mainly women who are doing that, making the history, so to say. I think you also found this fact about the capital, how much capital to women start off with. And
yeah, it was that male. Among the most successful companies, men start their business with 6 times as much capital as women do. So,
I think this can be also like tied with the industry again, like if you're starting your own kind of hair salon or like, you know, nail salon, that's kind of, you just need to rent a place and start off with two chairs or 2 tables and an Instagram account, so it is not so capital.
that
is on
explained that way, but also the fact that I saw also another fact that female-led female-led software startups are way outperforming the male-led ones, but still VCs prefer to invest in the male-led startups. So that might be also another reason why male founders have
a little bit more. There's more of them, yeah, exactly. Because if you are failing to fundraise and fund your startup, then of course you are inclined to kind of fail, because it is very, you know, very very capital heavy software development, and you need some help at least in the beginning. Yeah, and actually, I think this is like very well-known fact that only in 2022 it was like only 1.9% of the VC funding went to female founders. So I mean,
that is crazy.
Yeah,
Harsh statistics, I would say. And big shout out to the VC friends out there. So female founders are really capable entrepreneurs. So we definitely would like to see this statistics.
But I think it's not so much to do with that the female founders are incapable of raising the funds, rather than it is that just that there's so few of them.
Yeah, also.
Because I remember it was, I think, a couple of weeks ago when I read on LinkedIn as well, there was this president of or managing director of Lithuanian Business Angels Network, or Litban. His name is Justinas Passis, yeah, most probably. Sorry, Justinas, if I mispronounced your name. So he posted on his LinkedIn, "Where are the female founders? Roughly every second female founder who pitches in Litban attracts investors. Roughly every second, so that's nearly 50%. That is some wild conversion, and we need more women building and pitching." And he's actually inviting women to kind of apply for the pitching competitions in Litvan. I think they have at least one competition every month. Yeah, like does Latpan and Espan. And yeah, so if you're listening to this, if you have a startup, if you're currently fundraising, then you should definitely find Justinas on LinkedIn and reach out to him and see if you can pitch at their next events. Yeah, well, I found some interesting statistics as well. One that really caught my eye, which I think is quite interesting, is that being a female entrepreneur leads to higher life satisfaction.
I think it should have to do something with
owning more money,
or that, or just having this spare time to do some other things that, you know, usually female are tending to, like managing house or kids or something. And with being entrepreneur, you have I wouldn't say a lot more free time, but you have more flexible working hours. Like if you are busy in the morning, you can take the morning off always and start your day at 12 o'clock, for example. Of course, taking into consideration that you will have to work probably until 7, 8 in the evening. But I mean, you are going to have more flexible hours. And it's a lot easier to plan your time rather than when you are working in I would say, either governmental organization or some
Private job.
yeah, exactly, company. And you have this 9 to 5 schedule, and you just have to stick to it because you can't really do anything about it. Otherwise, it's going to influence either your pay or how your boss is going to view you or evaluate you as a founder, not founder, worker. So yeah, I would say that that could also be one of the reasons why that leads to higher life satisfaction. Like I'm pretty satisfied that I can manage my own time, and we can do our nails in the middle of the day and then be all pretty by the evening and manage the work stuff later in the evening and be okay with it.
I'm not 100% sure if I agree to that. So I find it often quite challenging to actually find this nice balance between my private and my kind of professional life. So oftentimes my working days are really, really long. And also, like, because I'm traveling between 2 countries, I'm kind of not wasting, but using a considerable part of my private time for just, kind of traveling. So, every Friday evening, mostly I'm spending my time between Tallinn and the Riga and Tallinn bus. So, I guess it also depends exactly of the industry, of the stage that you are in. And also depends of, exactly the responsibilities that you have. So, but I think in general, I guess the female entrepreneurs, these are also types of women that take great pride in what they do. They're ambitious and they're kind of like, for me, I get, like, for me, the biggest reward is like actually solving kind of like a problem or issue or achieving something. So this is actually what is making me happy. And personally, I wouldn't be happy when I would just need to, I don't know, clean the house and take care of the kids. But there are women out there who do take great pride in that, and this is what is making them happy. But I guess one big part of this kind of being more satisfied with their lives, one thing is the freedom of your kind of time schedule, and another thing is also maybe the financial freedom. Because if you are more kind of insured, there are so many women who actually are kind of, dependent of their husbands because of their financial security and so on. And I think this is making the women much more vulnerable. Yeah. So if you have your own like professional career, everything is going well, you have that kind of freedom.
Yeah.
I think this is
also,
yeah,
for sure. Financial security is also a very important point.
Yeah. There was one more actually, this that I saw here, that female entrepreneurs rank higher on several elements of leadership. So there was actually a study conducted by the Harvard Business Review, and in this study they found that women ranked higher on actually several major elements of leadership than their male counterparts. What do you think about that statement? Do you agree that women are kind of better leaders?
I don't know. Now, if I say yes, there might be a lot of guys throwing some things towards my direction. But I would say that definitely we have a different way of leading people. We may be more empathic at times, opposed to our male counterparts. So they might be more with strategic and logic approach to business and development. So we might be a little bit more empathic and go with our gut feeling every now and then. And, that might actually put us in a little bit more better situation towards our co-founders and colleagues, I would say. Because some part of understanding is always evaluated. When you actually have a bad day, You're not the strict boss that says, no, you have to do this. I don't care about the rest. I need the result,
Nowadays, it wouldn't work anyway. I mean, it's Gen Z. I mean, it's crazy that we still have this kind of old school bosses. I was in a Bolt a couple of days ago, and then the Bolt driver was just telling about his daughter, who is not allowed to work from home, and the boss is like really unsupportive and so on. And I was just raising my eyebrows that can you really still in 2023 have this kind of types of leaders in the company, and that they can come with strict rules that, okay, this is, it's kind of like in Estonia, we call them butt hours. I don't know if you call them here. It's kind of like chair hours, that you're just sitting in a chair, but you are not doing anything. Like it is not, doesn't matter that if you're working from 9 to 5, it actually matters how efficient you are, I think. And also one thing that is trending now is 4-day work week. In Estonia, a couple of companies, I know Scoro, it's also like they're a scale up by now, it's not a startup anymore, has implemented 4-day working week, I think, for their entire team.
Yes.
And there's some telecommunication companies, for example, Elisa, that have implemented this kind of 4-day working week for their software team. And
do you know the results of it?
So far, so good. I understand that also in Sweden and I think in Finland, they've conducted different studies and kind of test groups, and understood that this kind of 4-day work week leads to better results, much higher kind of employee satisfaction rates. And actually, they didn't see any kind of like KPIs dropping. It was kind of actually increasing. So this is like, for me, it's also very kind of interesting concept. And I'm even kind of, thinking if we should implement this in our company as well, or maybe start with like every second Friday off or something like that. It would be very interesting to see what kind of results it brings. Because like, personally, I think the 2-day weekend is not always enough. Like, just yesterday we were discussing with my partner that, okay, it was Saturday, you did some chores, you went to the gym, did something, then the day is over. Now Sunday comes, again you do something, then half of the day you're working or already getting ready for Monday, and then the weekend is over. And we don't even have kids. If we would have small kids, I mean, this is crazy. So if you come to think about it, you are only working kind of or you are living to work, and like I think there needs to be a better work and life balance.
And I think since at least the people that really, really care about their work, they're on the verge of becoming workaholics. Not to offend those people, because they're amazing. I think that this having like even a mandatory day off would help them manage their work-life balance, because they're not so good at that self. Because I know from myself as well, when I start to do something, it's really hard for me to stop, and then in the end you blink your eyes and it's like 9 o'clock, 9:30, even close to midnight sometimes, when you have to meet a deadline, right? And you're still working, and then in the end you go to sleep exhausted, and then a blink of an eye, it's 6 o'clock again, you have to wake up, and you feel like crap. And I think that adding another day off would definitely help these type of people to manage their mental health, first of all, their physical health, and then of course the work-life balance. And definitely I agree that it would lead to higher KPIs, as these people are used to focusing on their work with everything that they've got.
But I think that also kind of from the company, it requires that you have like really kind of neat standard procedures in place, and like because if everything is a mess, like in our case when we're just starting up the company, and like when I'm looking at the workload that I have now, then I would need a better process of delegation and some things in place for me to be actually able to work within those 4 days in a week. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting concept. I think we're kind of running out of time. You listeners out there, thank you very much for listening, Baltic Boss Babes. This was our first episode, so I hope you will be kind towards us. But please do let us know if you liked the episode and which kind of topics you would like us to cover in the future. And also if you have some recommendations which guests we should invite, then also please let us know.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn, Baltic Boss Babes, and keep an eye out for the newest episodes and the guests that we're going to be announcing soon.
Yep. So I think we can already say it out loud that the next guest in our upcoming episodes will be Alina Silina from Busy Monday, and then we have Liiva
Pärkonen.
Yes, Pärkonen. I'm having some difficulties with this name from Helve. Yeah. So watch out for the next episodes, and thank you very much for listening.
That's so creepy.
We would like to... Oh. We would like... Okay. We would like to... Okay, I need to write it down, then I can read it. We would like to thank Worklands for supporting.
The ultimate Baltic female founders blog and podcast. Wicked, unapologetically fun, and utterly fearless. This is your next bi-weekly podcast. Subscribe, follow us on social, and read on balticbossbabes.com.